Hey guys, well, welcome to another episode of Stock Market Review with LUWEP Trading. Coach Lord is here, guys. We're about to get into it. Once again, I want to let you guys know I appreciate you guys being here. If you are here, make sure to give me a thumbs up, drop me an emoji, drop me a comment. For those of you already done so, I really appreciate it. These are the kind of things that keeps the engagement going. These are fuel for me really when I'm doing those lives, and these kind of things really help the algorithm push out those videos. Again, I am seeing the engagement in the channel. I'm seeing how the channel is growing, so I appreciate it. Just keep on doing it. Now, the S&P, we got to talk about the S&P 500, guys. We are no longer in a range. We've been in a range for more than 3 months now. The S&P has just confirmed a move down. Now, it has confirmed it can still bounce. Remember, I told you guys and I prepared you guys for this, right? Not only the S&P has confirmed the move down, but the VIX also spiked above 85%. All right. For those of you guys that might be new here or still have maybe you didn't hear when I said mentioned that the past couple of days, what exactly does that mean when the VIX actually have spiked more than 10% in one day? We're going to get into it, and I will explain to you guys what that means for you. And again, tomorrow when we have those data dump tomorrow, again, remember those inflation numbers coming. That all these are pre-war. All right, we did not have the war yet, so all that spike we have in oil prices, this is not yet factored in, which means inflation is actually worse than what the numbers we're going to see. So if the numbers we saw came in hot, that means it's even worse. So we might see a major drop in the market. And again, tomorrow is Friday. I want you guys to remember once again. If you win, you're making some profit and whatever, be very, very, very careful as far as holding things over the weekend. We're gonna get into the chart, but while we are here, I have to let you guys know this. Once again, I am not your financial advisor. Nothing I say here is any suggestions for you guys to buy, hold, or sell. What I do here is for educational purposes. I'm reading what the chart is telling me, and I'm translating that to you guys, and I'm letting you guys know how I'm pretty much executing on what the stock market is telling me. If you are looking to trade, make sure you do your own due diligence. If you don't know what you're doing, how to do your own research, make sure to contact a financial advisor. And keep in mind, investing and trading carries a lot of risk, including loss of capital. So make sure you know what you're doing. All right. But what we do here, once again, we focus on the chart. No BS, no fluffs, no emotion. We're just looking at probabilities based on what the chart is telling us. We focus on the patterns, on the levels. This is all we talk about. We're going to get into it, guys, and you guys are going to see exactly what I have been talking about. And for those of you guys that's been on the channel, you guys do remember when I told you guys I bought some puts on the DIA. That's the Dow Jones, right? I told you guys I bought some puts. And I put my I put my money where my mouth is. This is not something I'm coming in and let you guys know that right now. I told you guys when I was making the move, we're going to go into that trade as well, so you guys can see exactly what that trade is currently doing. I'm seeing a couple of things here. I see it here. Jeff, James, and Power Path. I see you guys here. I'm looking at the chat. I see you guys here. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm really, really, really appreciating the interaction. It's always welcome, and this is something that really helps. Once again, guys, if you just got here, remember to like this live. Remember once again to hit the notification bell if you have not done so. For those of you that are watching on replay, I really appreciate you guys. And to the comments from the people that said, hey, you know what? Not trying to. What was the comment exactly? I'm gonna start doing the pulling up those comments. By the way, I'm gonna try to see if I could do that. But I received a comment from somebody who said, they actually did some after I went over the market. They watched other videos and they kept being bullish. They decided after they do a little homework themselves, they decided to actually put on some protection plays, and that really helps them a lot. Again, when I say things, I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm letting you know what I'm doing. So the fact that you said you copied some of the things that I said and you saw how that's help you protect your portfolio, I really appreciate the kind words. I really appreciate it. This is what I do here. Once again, I want to be clear with that. I'm not saying you guys must do what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do. But when I'm letting you guys know what I'm doing, if you go back and review and it makes sense, you want to execute on that, that's absolutely fine. All right. Going right into the chart. I want before I move to the chart, I want to remind you guys all day, every day, as Jeff just mentioned in the channel and Luna just mentioned in the channel, it is always POP. It is always process over profit. You follow the process, the profit will follow. Do not do anything out of emotions. Check your emotion out. Stick to your trading plans. It is POP. All right, getting into the chart, we're gonna get right into it. What exactly is the S&P 500 telling us? This is the SPY. That's what most of you guys trade intraday. This is the SPY. What are we seeing here? I told you guys that. Everyone remembered when I said, hey, this is what we're doing. I would not be surprised if we go and retest the trend line. This is an easy trade. As long as you know, again, this is part of the whole process. Hey, this is what happens. And when I come back here, I have to have some stones. And while the market is green and pushing up, and I'm like, hey, you know what? This is what my trading plan says. We have a break. Let me do that. Actually, you know what? Let me just remove a lot of things on the chart so that way the chart can show very clean. So when we go on certain things, you guys can see it. All right. Let me open that up just a little tad bit. There you go. Open that up because I know some of you guys watch this on your phone, especially those of you guys who watch this on replay. Actually, most of you guys watch this on your phone. For those of you guys who do that, I want to make sure you guys can see clearly. So what we did, we went from here and we dropped and we retrace back to the scene of the crime, which is where we broke from, where we broke the trend line, and we are pushing back down. Now, what have I been telling you guys with all this push? They've been trying to push the market up, and the institutions are in on it. Of course, the administration do not want the market to drop, so they're doing their part. But look at this volume of selling. Look at that. This is the selling volume that comes in. Now, ask yourself, how is it we have this little candle with this massive volume? Meanwhile, we had this big old candle with volume actually being lower. Why? As I have told you guys, they have been tricking retail traders. They put out some headlines, and again, it's a headline-driven market, and the algorithm are trained to look for specific words in article. Based on those words, they decide whether it's bearish or bullish. If it's bullish, they buy a little bit, and then retail traders push it up. Institutions stay on the sideline. When it gets to the level they want to sell, boom, they hit, they drop it. But you know what? If you guys are here, if you mess with me, if you come here, you watch this channel, you did not get caught into all of that. You should not have gotten caught into all of that. Now, a lot of other things can happen in certain things. Different. Maybe it's a specific stock that had a bullish pattern that did not work out. These things happen. But this play, I called that out and you guys saw it, and I demonstrated exactly what was going on. So we should be fine when it comes to that. Now, this is where we are. You could say this is a four-bar pattern, and we are closing actually below. This is the lowest we've ever closed here, right? So that move is there. Now, tomorrow we might have a bit of a pop. Before I even go too far away into that, we might have a bit of a pop today. Why? Going back to one thing I mentioned at the beginning of this live, which is the VIX, right? So the VIX, whenever it pops 10%, it gives you an 85% probability of a move on the other side. Even if at least in the morning, right? That's a nice probability for us to have a bit of a pop. So we have to keep in mind we might have this pop early in the morning, and it might fade. Maybe it fades right when the data dump, or maybe it fades right when before the market close. But we have to be on the lookout for that. So, what exactly are we looking at right now? So, this is my ultimate target. My ultimate target for it is 652, but we do have some minor support level right at this level here. I would say we have some minor support level here. So we may bounce right here tomorrow, or maybe we actually just do an inside bar, something like that, or just a little bit of a consolidation for a couple of days. You never know. You just never know the way the market works. This is something that may happen. Now let's dig into it a little bit. Going down in the 4 hour time frame. When we had this head and shoulder pattern here, I told you guys. When we had this one being done, I told you guys, hey, this is just a head and shoulder pattern being formed again at a lower level. And what did I told you guys was the higher probability of the move? I said it would be a move down. That was the higher probability. Most likely we might squeeze to go touch this level and then pull back down. That's what we're doing. So all we're doing here is lower high, a lower high. So that means now we are on the on the I'd say on the micro level, we are still on a downward trend line. All right, but I don't want you guys to get confused with the macro level. When I'm talking about macro, I'm talking about like the weekly time frame and monthly time frame. This is still a bullish market, right? So in the short term, we might be going down in the short term, but on the weekly level, so far we have not broken down. At least in the S&P 500, this is what we're looking at right now. All right. Going down again, looking at what I was talking about, and I told you guys, hey, does it look good? Seems like we are in bearish territory, and we might be crossing down, and that's exactly what we did, and then we saw the push down that happened. Going down to the 2 hour time frame, once again, the 2 hours still look like we might be going down. This is what I'm saying. We might do a bit of a pop, like maybe right at this level. We might do this. This is highly possible that we do this. Maybe we come here or come down here and then keep on doing that. So what we have in once again developing, because the market keep doing that. There's always going to be some sort of wedge pattern somewhere. All right. This is what I mean when I say wait for an opportunity. So if you didn't catch it on the push up to here, and you take it way up there, this is too late. If you did not short it while it was up there, now that it's here, today was not the day for you to just open your short position. Today was not the day for that. All right, because now what exactly is the higher probability trade? What based on what I'm looking based on again, we have some major data dump tomorrow, which might really push the market either way. But as of right now, we are near support level. So most likely the higher probability trade I'm looking at is a push up. Even though we are still bearish, we might do a bit of a dead cat bounce, a bit of a push up, even if it's earlier in the morning. So we'll see how that goes. Sometimes it's also that all that move is done during the nighttime. That move is done, and then it actually push right back down. So don't be surprised if you wake up around like 3, 4 in the morning and you see the market is green, 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 and then as we're coming into to the announcement, most likely everybody's going to try to get out right before the data comes out. If or the only people who stays in when data's coming out, I would say unless you don't have a choice, you're holding long term stuff, or maybe you are in something that already got crushed, so you're just holding it. If you people would just coming in and buying things right before big data dump, I'm gonna be frank. You either already know something or you're stupid. And I don't think you guys who watch this channel is either stupid or actually have insider info. So that means you shouldn't be buying right before a big data dump, whether it's a short position at support or just buying this while you have this big data dump coming tomorrow. All right. Now going into the 30 minutes again, we're not seeing anything good right now. 30 minutes looking what? Oh gee, I am not liking that. So this will be our first test in the 30 minutes. It would be this line. So you can have secondary lines if you want to. You can have a secondary line that would have to go like this and take out this high. All right. So this would be our second. So this would be our first line of resistance, and this would be our secondary line. We're going to look at those and see exactly what we are doing in terms of an exact pattern. I am not seeing an exact pattern except for a bit of a bear flag. What do I mean by a bear flag? You can see, although we had a lot of wick, right? So it's a lot of wick up and down. It was choppy. You guys can see the 30 minutes, but ultimately, when you look at it, what we did was a push down, and we're doing a bear flag. All right. But again, bear flag is doing where? The one thing I always focused on and talk to you guys about, the bear flag is being done near support level. So it is not as strong of a pattern. All right, not as strong of a pattern because it's being done at support level. As of right now, based on what I'm seeing here, again, that's the SPY. Based on what I'm seeing here, I do not see a case for any type of bullish pattern. As of right now, I just don't see it. But again, tomorrow the data can change everything, or maybe there's a ceasefire that comes out and that change things drastically. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how all of that plays out. But right now, this seems like we might have a bit of a push lower, regardless of what the market is doing overnight. That's regardless of what it's doing overnight. Once again, if you traded today, you did good today. Please let me know what you trade, or if you made any money today, let me know. Let me know if you made any money and what you traded. If you want to share a specific strategy or what you did, would love to know. Going now, let's check the cues. Let's see what we're doing with the cues. Going on the daily. Now, this is why the S&P is not completely dying, and this is what worries me, right? We have not right now. We right at support level on the Qs. Again, remember the Qs is the heavyweight of the stock market. The Qs, that's the heavyweight. All right. So if the heavyweights decided to dump, the SPY, the S&P 500, will take a big hit. As of right now, we have not lost the support level in the Qs. We have not lost that. But the reason why, a lot of those stocks are sitting at support level. Nvidia is at support. Microsoft, Netflix, Meta, Google, which Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google. These companies are all sitting at support level. So you have to pay attention to that. So I'll give you guys, since we keep going, that's a lot of info. I want to give you do a quick check-in with you guys when it comes to geopolitical issues. It's something I want to do. So it doesn't seem like we're going to have a ceasefire anytime soon. So we had a letter, a written statement from the new Ayatollah in Iran. This man has declared the Strait of Hormuz must remain closed. He said it must remain closed, and they need to exact vengeance for the school that was bombed, and a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I'm not saying this man's word is set in stone and whatever. A lot of times, political leaders say things like that to try to get leverage to make a deal. But I'm just letting you guys know what's being said. And as of right now, these guys are flat out saying they do not want a ceasefire. So if they don't, I'm gonna let you guys know again. If you drive, and if you can do it, if it's possible for you, please, please go ahead and put some gas in your car. Fill up your tank. If you can do it, just do it. If you don't believe me, just go out there. Whatever you paid for gas prices, even as of yesterday, it is higher today. Oil is ripping up, right? I was getting ready to call out some plays on Chevron and ExxonMobil and whatever. These things took off so much to the point where it's like, damn, I need to wait for a pullback. That's how hot oil is running right now. Now adding salt to injury, we actually the U.S. Army lost a refueling tank in Iraq, over the airspace of Iraq. Obviously, they said, hey. This was not caused by enemy fire, but they also not giving us the cause for that thing to go down. These things never go down by themselves. All right, they never do, but somehow it did, which means what? Now we're in a situation where if search and rescue does not find those soldiers, they are at risk of being captured. And that takes these things to a whole new level. And how do you know the this whole war is not coming to an end? The fact that I think the G7 nations got together, we are releasing more oil from our reserves. No countries want to dip into their reserves. Was it Japan? Japan has announced they only have about 60 days worth of oil left. India is struggling so hard that they already cut 1 day of school to try to preserve oil. They cut off 1 day of school, and they're also making people work less hours. So they already rationing oil. So and this is just the beginning, right? Now let's think about this. This is not a situation where as soon as the strait is open, everything will be right away we got everything back. Because while everything when we they open the strait, you're also going to have those oil tankers gonna have to make their way to wherever they're going. That may be an extra 3 to 5 days. All right, so all this is going to be a problem. Another thing you guys may know, the White House is considering invoking the Jones Act. If you're not familiar with the Jones Act, I don't blame you. I didn't know either. I had to research that. So the Jones Act is an emergency act the executive branch can invoke. So what that does is no no goods in the US is supposed to be traveled by land. Meaning, if you are a trucker, my heart goes out to you because if you transport fruits or whatever it is, produce whatever it is, these things will no longer go by air. They have to go by ground or air. Everything has to go by sea. So it has to be on a ship. It has to be a ship that was built in the U.S. and the ship also needs to be staffed with American citizen crew only, no foreigners. American citizen only, meaning the jobs you might have had to take maybe some produce from California, bring it to New York, that is gone because the reason why they're doing that because they know oil prices is skyrocketing, meaning it's going to be more expensive for those trucking companies. Therefore the trucking companies will charge more money to those grocery stores or the supplier, whatever it is, which in turns get passed to the consumers, which is us when we go to the grocery store. So that's one way they're trying to alleviate that. But we has a massive trucking industry. Ask yourself how many people you know that's doing trucking right now. So you're going to have less jobs for truckers, meaning there's going to be bidding wars for any little thing, which is going to drive down the price. Some trucking companies are going to go out of business. That's just what's going to happen. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. This is what the Jones Act is. But let's get right back into the chart, guys. Just wanted to give you guys this information because this is something that right now is being considered. Going right back into the chart, this is the cues. Let's dig into the 4 hour time frame. Now the 4 hour time frame. Oh, so we actually made a double top. See, this is what's a little scary for me. So while we just did that, we closed below that support line, right? It closed below, which means we have all this room for a drop. If I was buying any put options, this would be my biggest target for tomorrow. Even intraday, this would be my biggest target. Yeah, you could say, hey, this is all we have here is about a four to 5 point move. Hey, if you're buying options, especially now, the IV is high, the VIX is high, so that means implied volatility is high, so options make money real fast. I mean, you lose it also real fast, but it makes money real fast. So this is what we're looking at. Higher probability for the Qs is a move down. The SPY seems to be more at support, so it might taper down a little bit. The Qs might perform worse. Just like if you look at today, the Qs performed just a little worse, but not as bad. But it performed just a little worse. In terms of percentage, the Qs was down 1.7%, 7.7 and change. But the SPY, the S&P 500, was only down like 1.4, 1.5. So this is what we're looking at coming out of a double top. That's the 4 hour time frame, and I always show you guys right here. We also have the double top. Actually, it's a lower high. That's the 4 hours, and this is in negative territory. And look at that. Look how big this is. This is something that shows I'm gaining momentum. There's volume coming in. There's momentum being built for a push down. All right, so now let's go to the 2 hour time frame. The 2 hour is also a good barometer for us to see what's going on. The 2 hours is not really giving us anything. Yeah, let me see. I have a question here. What do we have? When I answer questions now, I just wanna go directly answer to you guys. Is there anything that might happen tomorrow to cause volatility? Any reports coming? Yes, 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 yes. We have a lot coming. I can show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys just real quick so you guys see what's coming. Tomorrow morning, 8:30 is going to be massive, massive, massive. I make the VIX once again is pricing in a massive, massive push. Let me just. I'm gonna zoom in so people can see this just a little bit bigger, zooming in. So tomorrow is Thursday. Now today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. What do we have at 8:30? We have GDP. This is revision on the GDP. So far since this administration has been here, every single time we have revision, it's always been down. So that means GDP might be even worse. And not only that, when you dig into the GDP, what we want to see, it's not just the AI spend that's keeping GDP up. So far, the AI spend has been about what 80% of our not 80, but more like 60 to 75% of our GDP, which means it's just those companies spending money on data centers and stuff like that. This is not actual American doing things and driving up the GDP. Personal income is also going to come out. Consumer spending is also going to come out. All indication is showing that this is coming down. Now there's another bank that had a freeze as well on how much money you can withdraw. It's never a good thing when you start seeing banks freezing people money, telling you cannot take your own money from my bank. What do you mean? But that's just the way it is. They can cap how much money you can take out. We also gonna have PCE index that's going to come out. Year over year PCE, core PCE, all these are inflation numbers that we're going to have. Durable goods orders, job openings. Job openings. If this number is positive, don't believe it. I'm just going to go flat out. I'm gonna go on a limb and let you guys know that. Why? Every single which company do you know has announced plan to hire a bunch of people? Do you even know one company that has announced we plan to hire 20,000 people? But if you Google it, you can see so many companies. There are so many companies you can find that's announcing they're going to cut 30% of their employees, 40%, 50%. That's what I believe XYZ, which is Block, used to be Square. That's why they just announced they're going to cut 50% of their workforce. Everywhere you look, there's layoffs or announced layoffs, meaning layoffs are coming. Every single where you look, this is the way it is. So I want to let you guys know you need to be careful. You need to be on guard. I need you guys to make sure once again find something you can do to make some extra income. All right, whatever that may be, whether it's some retail arbitrage, whether it's I think trading gives the best opportunities, especially when it comes to trading with a prop firm. I think that gives you the best opportunity because the cost of entry is so low. So, for example, there's a lot of people in my community trading and passing evaluations. right? So what you do is, if you don't know, when I'm talking about prop firms, if you don't know, let's say I want to trade futures, I don't have much money. I'm an affiliate. I want to disclose that I'm an affiliate for Apex Trading. So if you go on Apex, they have some promotions going on right now. You can sign up. It's about 29. There's two different type of accounts. One is $20. One is $30 to take the evaluation. As long as you use my code POP. That's POP. POP. You use that code, you get 90% off. Now, once you pass the evaluation, make sure you read the rules. Once you pass the evaluation, let's say you want to have a $50,000 account to trade with. You have to take an evaluation. Once you pass the evaluation, you have to what they call the activation. So there's an activation fee. A lot of companies charges you the activation fee upfront. Whether you pass the evaluation or not, you still pay the same price. But with Apex, you take the evaluation. If you pass it, then you pay the activation fee. All right. When you do, then you get to trade it. There's a buffer that you have to make with the rules. But anyway, so let's say you pass it, you get the activation done, and then you blow the account. Guess how much money you invested into doing all that? You just invested about $120 to $130 if it's a 50K account. It's 130 to 150. That's about it. All right, instead of maybe you go and you would need some things you're going to do, you might need at least $1,000 or $5,000 to start. This is the easier way. I'm not saying this is for everyone. I understand. Once again, make sure you do your own research. Make sure you have a plan that you can trade. I teach people this. I do have plan for that. Right now, by the way, my spots are filling up quick right now. So if you are interested in that, hit me up and let me know. And I'll take care of you guys. But this is what it is. Let's go right back into the charts once again. Going right back. I just wanted to show you guys that I just got wanted to just let you guys know, show you guys what we have coming. Let's take a quick look at that once again. This is a double top that was done, and we still have that spot right here. And look at the MACD. The MACD right here, just pointing straight down. Again, we may have a pop, maybe we do, maybe we don't. We may have a pop. So we'll see exactly how all of that plays out. All right. Let me check the 30 minutes. Pretty much same pattern as the Qs. But again, this is pointing down. As of right now, this is what I'm seeing. This is pointing down. All right. Now, let me take a quick look at Bitcoin because I always check Bitcoin with you guys. Let's see what our good friend Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin actually squeezed up again, but where did it go? Right, it's still right between here. So there's nothing major going on. We're still right inside that zone. Don't listen to a bunch of people who already bought Bitcoin and who need some more suckers to come in and just buy willy nilly, without doing any research because we about to squeeze to 100,000. We don't know. Maybe it's going to happen, but as of right now, as long as we cannot take this resistance zone, as long as we cannot take that, this is not valid. Because as of right now, this is what I'm gonna show you guys right now. What I see most likely to happen is a double tap and a push down. This is what we seems like we are setting up for right now. Unless can we squeeze? Maybe we can, but we'll see. So this whole talk about we going to 95,000 or 100,000 in the next month, it is possible, but so far it's not showing to be a valid thing. This is just people talking. This is just a very long, again, I wanna let me prepare you guys. Let me show you guys. Remember when I was telling you guys the same thing when we were doing this around here? I say all this stuff we're doing, we need to squeeze above this level. So that was the support. I was saying, hey, we need to squeeze above this level. If we cannot squeeze, retest this level to keep continue going up. This is nothing but a bear flag happening. And what did we do? This is the exact same thing happening. Exact same thing. All right, no different. Until we take out this zone, this is still a bear flag as of right now. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm letting you guys know. You guys can see that. I don't have to dig into it. You guys see exactly where it is. We guys, I talked to you guys about the VIX. Let's check the VIX and see what the VIX is currently doing. This is the VIX on the daily. This is the VIX on the daily time frame. Remember when I was telling you guys, this right now seems to be, this was a low risk trade to buy here with a stop down there and a possible move to squeeze up. If you executed on that, you should be doing okay right now, because we opened at 25, pushed down to 24, and now we are 27.33. This is where we are, and if we can squeeze above this, expect to go touch this level. If we squeeze above this, expect to touch this level. Right now, the VIX is pointing straight up. This is not showing any sign of slowing down. There's the consolidation. There's the squeeze up in the 2 hours. As a matter of fact, excuse me, the 2 hours is showing the selling is done, and we're about to cross up to push. Look at that. Look at the fading of the selling. You guys can see it. This is the fading of the selling. This is what we are seeing here, and we're probably going to have a push up. This is what we having. Going to the 2 hour time frame again. 2 hour time frame seems to say, hey, you know what? We're going to keep making higher high. Since down here, we're gonna keep making higher high with consolidation and pushing up. And as of right now, we are canceling. It seems like we are canceling that possible head and shoulder pattern I talked about, which would have been here, right? We are canceling. We are pushing above that level. This is what we are doing right now. We're pushing above it. There you go. Let me just remove that. Let's check the 30 minutes. See what we're doing. Again, every single thing right now in the VIX look bullish. The 30 minutes crossed up in positive territory. Once again, this area here is positive. Down there is negative, and you guys can see we are squeezing up right now. We are squeezing up. This seems like was going to do a pot. There was a possible double tap to happen right here, right? But it seems like it's about to break it and push up. Can that move continue? We shall see if that move continue. But as of right now, this is what looks to happen right now. And we have to make sure to keep thinking about it, guys. If you look at that, what did we have here? This is a head inverted head and shoulder pattern with this right here is our neckline. We just broke above the neckline, but we also had a resistance level on the VIX, so it might push down tomorrow, but as of right now everything says the higher probability trade is a squeeze up in the VIX. This is what we're looking at. All right, that's what we're looking at. I just want to show you guys real quick, since we've been keeping tabs on the DIA, right? So this is what we're looking at in the DIA. Remember when I told you guys I bought where I added? We were here. When I said I added, we're at 483. We have had a 15 points drop since. 15 points since. All right, so we're sitting pretty. As a matter of fact, I'm going to confess today I took out some profit on those on the short plays again. I took out some profit. Say, hey, if we get a bounce tomorrow intraday, maybe I'll look to see if I can add or whatever. But as of right now, I took out some profit. So in case that thing reverse, I'm okay. But look at that. This is pointing straight down. If we pass this level, I don't see anything holding us from getting to 457. Another 10-point drop is not something that's too crazy to happen. As you guys can see, we've been making some nice drop. Anyway, a lot of time I'm passing by here. I have to go meet those guys in the chat, guys. All of you guys that are part of the community that are paid members who are going to be on Teams. I will be on Teams right after this live. Again, I will be on Teams. I will see you guys shortly. You guys know we have to meet, we have to talk and see how we're going to prepare for tomorrow. If you were here, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's always a pleasure for me to come to you guys and show you guys what I'm seeing and some of the trades I'm taking and how I'm managing those things. So if you're interested in learning how to trade, hit me or let me know. I do give courses. If you just wanna copy my trade, I do have. Although right now so far I'm being on the sideline, just taking a pause, letting the market finding now the market has a direction. We're going to try to see how we can play the downside as well, because you can make some money on the downside as well. You can make money on both sides. But if you are interested in copying my trade, guys, the link will be in the description of this video. If you're watching on replay, click on that link or shoot me a note. You should have my contact info right there. Shoot me a note. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. See how we can move forward. Guys, it's been fun. Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Once again, just a quick matter. Tomorrow's Friday, so be careful. Once again, I'm going to try to see when I can go live tomorrow. Going live on Friday has been a bit of a struggle, especially that I've not been doing well the past couple of days. But I will try to see at what time I can sneak in sometime. Maybe I might do it a midday, like a halftime review or something, just to give you guys a pulse check on what the market is doing. But either way, I will see you guys on the live. I have to go meet with those guys in the community. Take care, guys. Tomorrow, remember, is the same thing. It's POP, process over profit. Follow your process, stick to your trading plan, and most importantly, get in, get green, get out. Take care, guys. Have a good night.